Hey guys, I have a special treat today. We have the honor of being in the presence of Kyle Rodgers. Um, Kyle has done a lot of things online in the online space. He's made a big splash uh, in groups, in bots, in connecting with people online. I'll let you tell more about it. But right now, you've got four secrets to scale a 7 to 8 figure business in under a year that you're going to share with us and tell us how we can get more of it. So, Kyle, tell us about yourself and what you've got going.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Derek. So, what I'm going to talk about today is how you can scale to a seven-figure business or an eight-figure business in less than a year. And there's really four major things. There's four pillars that allow people to scale at that kind of a rate. And as long as you do those things, you'll be able to get the same results. And how do we get those same results as people that are on the top 1%? We emulate, we find out what they do, we pinpoint what works, and then we emulate what they're doing in the same way that they do it. And I come from a place myself of a authority because I've scaled a seven-figure business and hit $100,000 months in my own offer that I was running for BotFox. You mentioned BotFox. And what
Absolutely.
BotFox does is that we help real estate investors be able to find distressed properties and houses to flip using Facebook groups, and then how to scale that out to where 100% commission based appointment setters use their own Facebook accounts to post on Facebook and find those distressed properties. So it was organic marketing, scaling it around with a commission based sales team that used their own Facebook accounts. Well, I hit seven figures within that company and was on stage for Two Comma Club, and it was an amazing experience. And there was a big shift for me. There was something that made all the difference in the world and helped me shatter my ceiling. You see, when I was about a year and a half into running this company, I hit the ceiling to where I was making about $15,000 to $20,000 per month, and I even had a small team, and so I had leverage, but it was so hard for me to get past that mark, and it felt like no matter what I did, I was unable to smash past that ceiling. So I
That's
started.
pretty common too for entrepreneurs at your level, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. I think a lot of people get stuck at 10, 15, 20K a month. And to get beyond that, to get your $100,000 months, it can seem like a major jump. But once you do these four things, it's actually a small step. It's not even a massive jump. And a lot of people don't realize if they're making $10,000 a month, they don't realize how close they are to making $100,000 months. It's just like that. Anthony Robbins says that tiny changes make huge results, and it's so true. Just the smallest tweaks can be able to get you to that level. And for me, it was finding a mentor. My mentor is Brian Dulaney. Now, Brian Dulaney runs the Perfect Funnel System. It's a completely done for you agency that helps people scale to Two Comma Club X or $10 million in less than a year. And I joined his mastermind a couple years ago. And as soon as I joined his mastermind and I learned these secrets, I was able to go from $15,000 months to $100,000 months in a short amount of time. And that allowed me to be on stage and speak, or not speak at Funnel Hacking Live, but speak at other events and then be at Funnel Hacking Live with my award. And it was just such an amazing feeling. And these are some of the secrets that I'm going to share with you guys today. Now I'm working directly with Brian Dulaney, and we're partnering on a funnel that is going to be Two Comma Club X. It's going to be a Two Comma Club X funnel, which is $10 million. And I know that we're going to be able to hit that in less than a year. I've personally watched him bring people to $10 million in less than 6 months. In fact, one
Wow.
person I watched him bring to $10 million in less than 7 days. How
Wow.
crazy is that? Think about that.
That's
It's just
insane.
almost unfathomable. But it's impossible to do the same things that got you to where you are now and be able to hit that same level. Because
Yeah.
what you did that helped you get to where you are now is the exact thing that's holding you back from getting to 8 figures. And that's something that I realized, and through my own journey, and what I'm sharing with you guys is things that really help you use leverage and stop selling your time. If you can stop selling your time, because time is scarce, money is not scarce. Money is abundant. It's everywhere, and there's so many transactions happening all the time around you, millions and millions of dollars just flowing. So that is not scarce. What is scarce is our time. And as long as we continue to sell our time, the more we're going to think money is scarce. If we connect money to time, then it's going to be harder for us to make money. So if you can learn how to do things that work at scale when you operate off of automations and systems and leverage, and also as far as your fulfillment goes, when you're helping people and they pay for your service, if you can have low fulfillment, meaning it's not taking a ton of your time or resources, but extremely high impact, then you have yourself a $10 million offer. But it's that high impact, low time that's going to help you get there.
That's awesome. And I'm going to take that because you're not the first person I've heard that from. So what got you where you are won't get you to where you want to be. So what
Yes.
got you here, you've got to switch up. Those are, man, that's gold right there, brother. I like
Yeah.
that.
I appreciate it.
So where can we go to find out more about your ecosystem, what you've got to offer, and how you can work with people to help them achieve these steps?
Yes, absolutely. So Brian Dulaney has a free challenge that he's doing right now that I'm going to give you guys at the very end. So when I'm done dropping these 4 secrets, I'm going to give you guys access to this free 7-day challenge where he helps you design your message and launch and scale your expertise online. So secret number 1 is your offer. Now, Brian Dulaney calls himself the offer guy, and man, I'll tell you what, he totally is. He helped me design my offer to get on stage, and what I was doing before, it was drastically different than what I'm doing now. And the reason I'm in my Jeep is because I traveled full time, the all across the United States with my wife and 2 kids. We're like the nomadic, the nomadic digital creators. We're all over the place. We lived in Europe for 6 months, in Italy and Prague and Croatia and Paris. Even right now, I'm in this beautiful scenery in southern Utah by Kanab. And we take this Jeep and we hit the off-road trails as a family. And my wife homeschools the kids, and we take them into Kumon because there's Kumons all over the place. And we live a life that our family doesn't understand, but our kids are going to remember forever. It's so many memories and so many experiences. We're not sitting there watching TV every night, and the kids aren't sitting there on their tablets nonstop. Like we're doing things. We're doing the things that we used to watch on TV. I'd watch YouTube. I'd watch these other nomadic travelers and just feel this desire, this burning desire to do that. And then I did it. I made it happen. And it's because my offer changed. I wasn't able to do it before. My offer was done for. All right. So the idea is that anything that's done for you, that's going to take a lot of your time, a lot of your commitment, a lot of your heart. Those need to be almost like partnerships or offers that are between $50,000 or $100,000, and things that are in a group done with you, one to many. You're looking at anywhere from $10,000, $25,000 to $50,000 on the high end. And that's what made all the difference for me, was joining my first $25,000 mastermind, which was Brian Dulaney's. And then I joined another one right after that. I was in 2 at the same time. Crazy enough, 2 25K masterminds. And that was a lot. It was so much information. It was like taken from a fire hose, but it made all the difference for me. It helped me create systems. standard operating procedures, structure, being able to do things efficiently, to fulfill things in a way that's automated. And that's, where I was able to raise my price. And even my new offer is going to be 25K. Now,
Nice.
for things that are $5,000 or less, these should be courses or challenges or things that fulfill automatically, that take zero amount of your time. So that's secret number one, is structuring your offer in a way to where you're charging what you're worth, and you're going to be able to provide impact, but not, take all of your time. Now, things that you have on your lead magnet, things that are free, are also hard to sell. In fact, you have to work just as hard to sell something that's free as you do for something that's paid. So you got to realize that. Some people think that, hey, I just have this free PDF, I should get people just biting on it. But it's not good bait. Your bait needs to be enticing, because your free does cost money. Or sorry, it doesn't cost money, but it costs something, and it costs their time and their attention. So, and for a lot of people, time is money. So they are paying something. So you got to sell that free thing hard, and it has to be enticing. So you have to think through your lead magnets and your free offers just as much as you're thinking through your flagship offers. Now, secret number two is your messaging. Your messaging has to connect. It has to be real. It has to connect with people in a deep level personally, and it has to stand out. There's a red ocean of everybody else doing the same exact thing that you're doing. You need to turn that red ocean into a blue ocean by putting your own personality and your own spin on it, your own life experience and your own journey. Just like I'm talking to you guys about what I've done and how I got to where I am today. In my business, when I was putting in 80-hour weeks, and I was stuck in a location that I did not love, and I was just dreaming of traveling, it was creating these things and making these tweaks that changed it for me. And when I tell you guys that, you probably relate on some levels with that. There's some connections that you make on a personal level with that story. So when I tell you that story, it's my way of being able to transfer this information in a very quick way that connects with you emotionally. And that's part of crafting your message. A secret number two is copywriting, crafting your message, crafting your scripts. Now, this copywriting goes into everything from your posts to your funnels to your ads. Everything has to have a message and connect with people on an emotional level and teach them something and transfer something to them. So that's secret number two, is your message. And there's funnels out there that are super ugly, just a dog ugly, but they'll make 7 or 8 figures. Think of ClickBank, some of the top affiliates on ClickBank, and some of those companies are just banking, but they're ugly websites. Now it's because they have their message down. They have their messaging. That brings me to secret number 3, is your funnels. Your funnels don't have to be polished and beautiful either, but what's more important is that the steps that they take, the buyer journey that they're taking, the emotional connection and the excitement that they feel, and the big major promise. What is a big audacious promise that you can make that you're confident that you can actually fulfill on? For Brian Dulaney and Perfect Funnel System, it's, hey, I'm going to help you reach $10 million in less than a year. Like, that's an audacious promise. Most agencies are scared to make any promises at all, right? So when you promise something, it sets you apart. For when I was hammering on the real estate investing side, I was doing anything from $6,000 offers to $15,000 offers. And the way that I got people in and excited about it was, hey, I'm going to help you be able to close on 4 to 5 properties a month. How many of you do want to do 4 to 5 flips a month without spending a dime on paid ads? That's a major promise. Like, that's a fat promise. So it says the results of I'm going to get you X and X amount of time. Derek, you've got your promise. Hey, I'm going to help you launch your expertise in 12 weeks. That's tangible. These are tangible things. So when you're writing your message, you have to have that. When you have your funnels together, they have to have that. They always have to be selling the next thing, the next step. Okay.
Yep.
Secret number three is the funnels and how you set those up and the message that you put on those funnels. Secret number 4 is scale. You can't scale to $10 million by doing the same thing that you did that got you to where you are now. You have to change things. Even your ads, if you're doing paid advertising, what's working at a small scale is not going to work at large scale. You crank those ads up and you crank that ad spend up and you watch everything. The hiccup, we'll add that, we'll edit that part out. All right, so what works at small scale is once you crank up that ad spend, watch everything fall apart. And that tells you, hey, you know, what's working here is not going to work there. So as you're scaling up, you have to split test. You have to have a bunch of different tests going all at the same time, like science experiments. And the more that you scale, the more science experiments that you have to have going all at once. You know, when you're at a small scale, maybe you're only testing 1 or 2 things. As you're scaling up, you're testing 10, 20 things all at the same time, different headlines, different different call to actions, different colors. You know, you got to test all of these things. So as you're scaling it up, you can tweak it in real time. So that's an important thing to understand is when you scale, test, find the things that work, and then crank those up, crank up the spend on those things. You got to find the fat too. You got to find things that that are causing you a lot of spending or a lot of time that aren't creating much impact. You might be surprised if you audit yourself, you have a couple things that are creating all the impact in the world, and then you have 100 different other things going on that's not creating any impact or very minimal impact. You got to cut all that stuff out. So those are your 4 secrets. You got to have the right offers and value ladders. And your value ladders don't have to be crazy. It could be 1 low ticket, 1 high ticket. That's it. Next is your messaging. You have to have the right messaging. You have to have the right copy and connect with people on a personal level. You have to teach in stories. You know, Jesus taught in parables, right? And stories, to be able to teach a message through stories is the best way to deliver a message. Number 3 is your funnels, your steps that you take in order to give somebody a buyer's journey. And number 4 is scale. Test, split test many things.
That's awesome, brother. Those are 4. I hope everyone in my audience got that. Right there are 4 huge golden nuggets that I know are true at every level. But I mean, that's huge value you just gave us. Awesome. So tell us again where we can get more of Kyle Rodgers and find out more about what you're involved in, what Brian Dulaney is involved in, how people can get into this, that they're truly ready to take those steps.